different version just between me and my boyfriend. So we're gonna ask questions to each other that we think you guys would want to know. So my first question to you is, how did you feel when you first found out I was pregnant? Because you didn't really have no type of like, he didn't really have any type of expression or anything. Because he was on the phone when I showed him the test, so he really just walked around with the test, still talking on the phone.
Hey, when she told me, like I was on the phone, and when she told me, I heard her, but I was like, it was running through my head, like it kept repeating, like what she said, we kept repeating in my head. I can't even recall right now what she said. What you said, bro?
I don't remember, but no. I took the test and then I said, you might want to come see this. When you came back and took the test, then
Oh, but I already had the feeling. I already had the feeling she was already pretty. Cause Jay, like as a dude, like and being with her, like you know, like when some off or I wouldn't say off, but you know when something changed about your female or your spouse. You know when something changed.
so what you feel like changed?
Like you was sleeping more, and you was like going to sleep more often. Um, like you was eating a lot, and I was like, man, she ain't eat that much. But I was like, maybe you ain't. I was like, maybe she just hungry. I guess. Like I ain't think nothing of it. Then,
So like to cup
but
to
then when she kept going to sleep, I was
like I didn't
like, yeah, that
feel
was getting.
I didn't feel any different about me going to sleep all the time because during that time we were starting to get into a new routine. So we were like waking up early in the morning,
Yeah,
and I
that's why.
just felt like I was just tired, normally,
That's why.
reasonably tired.
Yeah, I see my eyes.
What's your question for me?
Um, how did you think I was gonna react when you told me what you think?
I didn't know. I knew that like it wasn't gonna be like a, oh my god, we can't do this, we not gonna do this, like that kind of situation. But I honestly, like, I didn't really know at the time. Like, I don't know. I didn't have any expectations. Let's just say that of how you was gonna act going into it.
As a female, what, like how many months you with now?
8.
I mean, you 8 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a female going through your pregnancy, what's like the challenge? You know, what's the hardest thing?
I mean,
Just, you know,
starting from like the number one thing,
Like when you
or you
first
want me to
start.
go trimester by
Go from the beginning. Well, go from trimester, whichever one you.
Okay, the first trimester was
pregnancy.
hard because I was always tired and I wasn't used to feeling like that. And usually, like I can be up and going, but I wasn't, and I didn't feel like I was contributing enough to certain things like cleaning up and cooking and stuff like that. So that was really hard. And then I was always nauseous, and so yeah, that was the hardest part of the first trimester. The second trimester, I don't want to say it wasn't that hard, but it wasn't as hard as the first trimester. That's when I kind of got morning sickness more, and I started actually throwing up. Because the first trimester I wasn't throwing up. The second trimester I definitely did. And now that I'm in the third trimester, the hardest part is I'm a small person and she is a normal sized baby, so she doesn't have as much room in there, and her feet are always in my ribs. That's the hardest part about it now. And
What's some advice you would give a pregnant woman watching this, or assume what she.
So like a first trimester, a
Yeah.
person who just found out that's pregnant.
Yeah, like what would you give them? What type of advice?
The advice that I would give them is don't feel bad if you feel like you can't do everything that you used to be able to do, because you are doing something that everybody can't do. Don't feel like you're doing something completely wrong because you can't do everything that you used to be able to do. And like your body is changing. When I first got pregnant, I felt like I didn't know myself anymore, because a lot of things change about me that will go back to normal. Possibly everything will go back to normal, but
So it's like the unknown. It like
yeah, it's like like your emotions are everywhere.
Uh-huh.
You can't eat the same things all the time.
Mhm.
Certain things make you very nauseous. If you don't eat, you feel nauseous. If you do eat, you feel nauseous. Well,
If you eat too much.
for me, that's how I was.
Mhm.
If I ate too much, I felt
That's how you
nauseous. If
are.
I didn't eat
Mhm.
enough, but it was worse in the first trimester.
Oh, okay.
And the hunger is there. Like if you're pregnant in your first trimester, you need to keep a basket with some snacks by your bedside, because you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, you're gonna be hungry. You're not gonna want to go in the kitchen and cook yourself a whole meal. You're just not gonna want to.
Or bother your spouse to
Yeah.
go cook it. Cause on the man's side, when you first find out like your spouse pregnant, you it produce a fire in you. Like, man, shit, I gotta do extra. You know what I'm saying? If you don't already have that type of money, or if you don't already have that type of finance, then you got it turn your grind on, it turn your hustle on as a man in the first trimester. Second trimester, you trying to look out for your spouse. You trying to look out for your lady. Like, what I mean by that, like, for the women, is like you trying to pick up, like, y'all female know, like, men don't do a lot already. Just being honest. Like, so on the man standpoint, around the second trimester, you start trying to pick up. You try to start to pick up, stuff that you won't usually be doing. That your
And
your
it's
spouse would
hard.
be doing. You see what I'm saying?
Not to try to interrupt.
So
you.
it like y'all. I wouldn't say switch roles, cause men don't be pregnant, but it like you take on more as a man. You doing more. Since your female can't do it.
And another tip that I would give any pregnant woman. Another tip I would give any pregnant woman, no matter what trimester they're in, is don't be afraid to ask for help from anybody, because we all know that sometimes we can be a little bit too much independent when it comes to our pregnancy and try to take on too much, whether it's carrying too much, literally carrying too much, and you can't open the door for yourself. Like, just ask for help when you need it. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because if you don't, you're going to just tire yourself out even more. You're already producing a whole other human being, and you don't need to make yourself more tired than you usually would be.
It's real. So, for the starter pack, what should they be looking into? Like, they first find out they pregnant. What should they, like, the type of gear they should be looking for?
Like for the baby? Or for
Yeah,
the
for the baby. Well,
Okay.
for the mother, because I'm pretty sure, like,
Okay.
mothers would be like, oh, I know she
Yeah,
need a car seat.
people gonna
She can't leave the hospital.
really.
So for the mothers, what would you say?
For the mothers, of pregnancy starter pack would be find out what you can eat and what you can hold down. And when you can, find a variety of certain things like crackers and stuff like that. Don't just buy one type of cracker. You're gonna get tired of it. Find out what helps you the most, because every pregnant woman is not the same. Let's just put that out there. Some people are different. Some people have the easiest pregnancy in the world. Some people have the hardest pregnancies in the world. So you have to figure out what works for you as an individual not what works for everybody else. What I'm saying can help me can be totally different than what can help somebody else. And what's the next question?
When you first realized, like, dang, I might be pregnant, what was your thoughts?
My thoughts were, first of all, don't jump to conclusions. Second of all, like, I myself didn't know how everybody in my family was gonna react to me being pregnant because I'm only 21 years old, and so I'm still relatively young. And growing up, all you hear people say is, "Don't get pregnant before you finish school. Don't get pregnant before you get married," and stuff like that. And that is exactly what we did. And so I wasn't ready to hear the backlash that I was expecting, but nobody had any backlash to say. So I was very lucky and very blessed to be supported 100% of the way and not have anybody in my family down to me because I was pregnant before I finished, going through the major parts of my
What's something motivational or big sister like that you could tell somebody who parents or who guardians are not are not like your parents, like supporters?
They're not as supportive.
Yeah, what would you tell them?
What I would tell them is that everything happens for a reason, and that if God bless you with a baby that you decide that you want to raise and that you want to keep, then that's what you should do. You can find people to support you throughout the way, even if it's your OBGYN, even if it's somebody that you don't know that you can befriend, because it's hard going through pregnancy enough, and I can't imagine doing it alone or without the support of certain people. And that's one of the ways I'm really blessed, is that I don't have to go through it alone. But for the people who do, y'all are some really strong people, because it's not easy. It's not easy going through it by yourself. I know it's not, because it's not easy going through it when you have a group of people to back you up on it.
What is the most frequently asked question to a pregnant woman? Like, what question did you get asked a lot?
For me, it's how old am I? Because I look young. And even one time I was at my doctor's appointment, one of the OBGYNs was like, "You look 13 in here with being pregnant." And I was like, "No, I'm 21. So yes, I do get those strange looks in public because people think I'm way younger than I really am. Even though I still am young, I'm not a teenager. I want to ask you, what questions do you mainly get? And of course, you probably don't get questions out in public and stuff because you're not pregnant and nobody would know you're having a baby.
Yeah,
with you.
But I always say,
So, like, what's the top 5 questions that you get from people? Like, it doesn't matter who, even in your family, out in public, any of that.
So when the question come up, since I work in like a place where a lot of people come through, if we get on the topic of kids and stuff, I always say like, man, I got a baby on the way. I got a baby arriving, and they be like, they try to give me advice. They be like, make sure you have a lot of Pampers. Make sure you have a lot of wipes. And I be like, yeah. Like, I always take the advice into consideration, but they always ask, is it a girl or a boy? Then you tell them that, or they might ask, how old is she or he? They ask, how does it feel to be a dad? They ask stuff like that.
And what do you say?
It feels good to be a dad. It feels like you taking care of yourself. Like, it feel like your you are your dad, and your baby is you, and you get to make your baby life better than your life than you had. You see what I'm saying? Like the problems you went through and stuff, it like you can fix, or you can, reroute your baby away from those type of mistakes you did, and away from the mistakes your father did. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It like that. Like you can make a better life for your own baby. You see what I'm saying? Not living through your baby, but the obstacles and stuff you went through, you can kind of tweak them for your baby.
So, what do you think will be the hardest thing for you when our baby actually is here?
So I know the hardest part would be, since I have sisters, I have like little sisters and big sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest part would be like actually monitoring the, I wouldn't say the boys or whatever, but it'll be.
You talking about boys? She's not even here.
I know, but it like I know my sister them, like from my sister them, you can't really tell them like, man, don't, like do this. Like you can, but it's like they got their own.
Listen.
It's a different type of thing from when it's your own baby, when you have to be like, or she might repeat after you, like my dad said, or in her head thinking like, this what my dad told me, this what I should look for. You see what I'm saying? Versus your sister, like, man, my brother, he did say that, but I'm gonna do my own thing. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a different thing. So for when she get here,
it's gonna be. You feel like it might be harder for you to talk to her about those kind of things.
It wouldn't be hard.
Or to come across as being a daddy,
like
but not friendly about. But I mean, not
like,
friendly, but not too,
like for
not
my
too
sisters,
friendly,
it would
but
be
not
advice.
too aggressive.
Yeah, like it's like for my sisters, it would be just advice. But for my baby, she'd take that to the heart. Like gonna, everything I tell her about dudes is gonna be what it is. You see what I'm saying? Until she find out otherwise, or she don't. You see what I'm saying? So whatever I tell her is like the Holy Bible.
To her.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a little different. So for you, when she get here, what's the main piece of advice you'll give your baby? Well, our baby, I'm talking about your baby. What's the main?
The main piece of advice that I would give her would be to always believe in yourself before you believe otherwise. Believe you can do something and not that you can't do something. Because if you believe that you can't do something, that's a mental stopper in your mind for you to stop your process, stop being you, and stop doing what you believe you have to do to achieve what you want to achieve.
At what age did you find that out?
I didn't have to find that out myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, okay, of course in mild cases where you might second guess yourself and you be like, I was right. But taking that to a stronger, higher level is, even in those minor cases when you second guess yourself and you were right, but now you're wrong because you second guessed yourself, that can easily happen in a bigger situation. So it's always important to believe that you have the power and the ability to do something, even if you are a little shaky about it.
Did you know like what she was gonna be?
Yeah, I did. I had a feeling that she was gonna be a girl from the very beginning.
Like, was it a tingly feeling or like from the stars?
Tingly feeling?
Like
that sounds weird.
I'm saying, like, was it like from the stomach? Like, was it like,
no, it was just
you know how
an
you get
instinct
that?
she's.
You know how folks catch the Holy Spirit in church? Was it one of them type of feeling like it came all over your body? Was it one of them type of?
It was just an instinct that this baby is gonna be a girl, and like everything just kind of fell in place for her to be a girl.
What you mean?
Her name, we couldn't figure out a boy name until we were told, okay, your next sonogram appointment is when you're finding out the gender. Then that's when we're like, okay, if this baby is not a girl, we need to have a name for a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, we could not decide on a boy name at all.
The gifts.
The baby would never had a name if like we didn't just sit up and decide that day what the baby's name would be if the baby was a boy. This baby, before we knew what she was, she got gifts that was all for girls. She got girl clothes. Even though I didn't know what I was having, people were just generously giving things, and they just ended up being for a girl. But everything was for a girl. Everything. Like,
exactly. Like,
nothing was for a boy.
Exactly.
And if I was having a boy, I would have had to give all of that away, which I would have had no problem with, because if I would have had a boy, I would have been just as happy, just as grateful, felt just as blessed. But something was just telling me that she was a girl.
Let's go to your Instagram. You have
Okay, I
you
got
have family on Instagram. Can I look at it?
no.
You have family on Instagram that have questions to ask Kiara. I will read them out to you. We asked this one. How does it feel being a first-time mother?
So I'm not nervous about being a first-time mother about most things. The one thing that I am nervous about is the labor and delivery part. Of course, that's what most people are nervous about, even if it's their fourth, fifth, sixth, second, third child. It doesn't matter. Like, what people have to say about labor doesn't scare me. The part that scares me is that I know that it's inevitable. I know that it's going to have to happen, and I'm ready for the day to be here so that they can so that part of the day can be over.
Next question is, what was your favorite thing to do as a child, and what do you think your daughter's favorite thing would be as a child?
My favorite thing to do as a child was my grandma always took us to the park, and after school we always walked around and had fun. Then she took us to get ice cream. That was right across the street, and that was my favorite. One of my favorite things to do as a child.
Going to go get ice cream?
No, went to the park. We went to go get ice cream.
So the ice cream was your favorite part?
The whole thing.
I guess I'm just fat.
And when I think my daughter's favorite thing to do, I don't know what would be her favorite thing to do, because she's not here yet.
Yeah,
And
but using your imagination, what you think?
I
Hard
think
to say.
one of her favorite things to do is gonna be just spending time with me and her dad together, all of us together, or
is
vice
that your-
versa.
Or is that your favorite thing?
Spending time with me or spending time with her dad.
Or was that your favorite thing? You want all us to spend time together?
We don't have her yet.
That was your favorite thing?
I mean, that probably will be my favorite thing when she gets here.
I'm pretty sure it will. I'll make it happen for you. Why did you want to start your YouTube channel?
I wanted to start my YouTube channel just just so she can see the people that we are present day, but of course it will be in the past for her. And for when she gets here, to see.
It'll be in the present for her and the past for us.
No, it will be in the past for all of us. But anyway, for her to be able to see herself grow up, because we didn't have that privilege, of course. I can't look back on the YouTube channel and see how I was when I was a baby, and watch myself grow. And that is what I want to do for her, just to be able to create memories for her that she otherwise wouldn't have.
So this is basically like her journal, but you're sharing it with.
This is our journal.
Oh. So
this is our journey together.
Q&A.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, and see you guys on the next video.
Kid's journey.